Welcome to the first coaching call after the new moon in Aries that we had on March 29th of 2025, and then Neptune moving into Aries on March 30th. We are in some big energy. And so we're going to go over a couple of the things that you're going to want to know to work with this energy in the upcoming weeks. For the full moon harvest of whatever seeds it is that you are planting, the full moon is going to be in Aries on October 6th of 2025. So this call is the opening call after our moon ceremony to where you're really going to be able to learn how to work with the energy. And then if you have any questions about how to work with your Menses cycle on top of the moon's energy, definitely post your questions in the group or bring them up at the end of the call, or if you have a private call. So what we're going to talk about is that the Aries new moon, the Aries is the god of war, but the war is actually in Libra on the axis of Aries. I'm a Libra moon and Aries rising. I know all about this, and this makes so much sense for the issues that I've had with my body, especially with where my Chiron placement is. And it makes so much sense with my obsession on the past, with all of my stellium of planets in Libra, that most of them were in retrograde. So looking back at the past and how much inner child work I've had to do and how long I've been struggling with a lot of these frozen emotions that were keeping me stuck. So I like know this energy because I've lived with it for so long. But on the other side of being able to thaw these emotions and being able to use my body as a barometer for what might be going on with me energetically, it's so easy. It's like so magnificent. So I'm really excited to share with you how you're going to look at the Aries energy as individuating from the war. So we have the scales, and the scales often I think about our thoughts and feelings and our actions, where our thoughts and feelings are on one scale, the actions are on the other, and we're trying not to be at war with the imbalance of taking unaligned action with what we really want. And we can't take the aligned action with what we really want because we have so much storage of old thoughts and feelings. You could also look at the scales as thoughts on one side, feelings on the other, and they have to be together and balanced in order for you to step forward and take action. And the warrior energy is so powerful because the warrior energy is about sovereignty, and it is about doing the right thing, especially when you can find the peaceful warrior. We want to be at peace within ourselves, because not being at peace within ourselves is the actual war that we're dealing with. And when you're thinking about this on the consciousness level, that we can only be activated and triggered by things on the outside if they are something that is part of us. That is such a good way to be able to do a check-in, because if we're triggered by someone or something that's happening in the world, or what the weight says on the scale, or how our clothes are feeling, we can really like listen to the talk that's going on in our head, or the feeling that we're having, and identify it, and being like, oh, this is a judgment thought. How do I judge myself? I'm feeling such and such emotion. How do I actually feel that emotion towards myself, to whether I feel like I'm being too much or I feel like I'm not living up to something? And so it's a really great way for us to look at this energy as a way to navigate the system, because the more we can experience the world without being triggered by it, the more we are actually transmuting the energy within our own body. We're alchemizing it. We're doing an ancient practice. And this is something that the female body is doing every 28 days, this same thing that the moon is doing. And so if we're able to have these emotions come up and be present to the thoughts that are running through our head, then we can actually be this sovereign warrior, that instead of just going straight into battle whenever a gunshot goes off, we're like, okay, wait, what's the strategy? Who could be on the hilltop? Who's down at the river? Like, what are all the moving parts? Because those moving parts of war are essentially what we are experiencing as women who are being the embodiment of the Great Mother. And so if we go back to the matriarchal idea of what life is and what God or goddess is, it is everything. It is death and it is rebirth. It is destruction and it is creation. It is all consuming. And the easiest way to really look at this paradox and be okay with you being part of the paradox, which is going to help you with your sabotage and your PMS cravings, is that nature is gorgeous, right? Beautiful trees, stones, rivers, all the things, right? But if people ceased to exist, the cities would be overrun with vines and branches and trees and grass and flowers. Nature would consume the city. But is nature bad? No. Is the sun bad if we're freezing? No. Is cold bad if we're really hot? No. So there is a paradox within the entire experience of living where it is completely holistic of good and bad, right or wrong, that people put that notion to it. But here's where I found this to be so helpful with really believing, if we believe what we say we believe, and we're looking at our own astrology and our own human design, and we're doing our inner child work and our nervous system regulation work, and we're aware that the outer planets that affect civilization are changing. If we believe all that we say we believe, then when we apply it to the food, we're able to experience these emotions and be okay with acting on them in certain ways to where we are the paradox, where we are letting ourselves express whatever it is that we're individuating from, but not in the sense that we're ghosting our workouts or we are sabotaging our nutrition. And there's a time and place to not diet. You should not be on a diet forever. And there is a time and place to do restorative, nurturing work or purposely take a break from working out just so that you can calm down, just so that you can come into a state of being, so that you can really just feel whatever it is that you're feeling, especially with how the energy is so intense and the outcome of the energy in the world is so intense. So there's very big differences between taking breaks and running from something, from sabotaging success with the food and allowing yourself to experience the joys of food in conjunction with where your hormones are so that you're not working against yourself. So this is really powerful stuff. It's really changed my life, even more so since all the work that I did up until 2022, 2023, where I was applying my healing tools to get hot. And when I really started talking about the aesthetic perspective, incorporating the moon and the menses has created even more change. And we're going to get into that today. So I'm really excited. So we're going to share the screen.